Hey, what's going on, guys? Tim here again. Got another tutorial for you today. A very heavily requested tutorial, as I've seen in the comments. So what we're learning how to do today is how to tie a monkey's fist begleri. Alright guys, so I got my paracord ready here. Got about 5.5 feet, and this section I'm holding here on my right side is about 3 feet. Okay. I've also got a marble. This is just a kind of standard size marble, you know, those ones you get at the dollar store or whatever. Or a toy store, whatever. And yeah, we're just gonna tie monkey's fist. Okay, so I've done this before, but we'll go through it again. Might go through it a little bit quicker, but anyways, if any part of this is confusing, you can check out my original monkey's fist tutorial. So I'm gonna start out with the marble in between my fingers. We're gonna do a 3-pass monkey's fist. So that's kind of the first pass already. We've got 1, 2, 3, like so. Then we're going to take the strand on the right. Now we're going to do our 3 passes going around this way. So we're going to go behind our fingers, through our fingers. We're going to go 1 pass like that. Go 2nd pass. And then the 3rd. Okay, so that's 3. Remember, make sure you're wrapping the cords and stacking them on top like I did. Don't go like downwards because you start on the bottom. Make your way up. Now we're going to remove our fingers. Okay. Now we're going to go through the top and then out the bottom for another 3 passes. It's 1. The 2nd pass, 2, and 3 should be the last one. Okay, so we've got our setup now. Now it's a matter of cinching all the slack out. So you want to get all the slack out to the longer side, obviously not the shorter side. So this is where a lot of people aren't sure because we're making the single strand monkey's fist, so this is how we do it. So I'm going to start pulling on this strand here. See, some of it's already coming out. Let's pull that out. Okay, see, so I'm slowly getting everything out. So if there's any major areas like this, we can start to pull this out. If you cinch it out to the wrong side, that's fine. Just, you know, go back the other way. Okay. So let's get this a little bit tighter. I'm getting more of the slack out first. Okay, so that's relatively kind of tight enough. So now you notice we have 2 strands coming out. We want to make this a single strand. So all we do is take the shorter end and pull that end all the way through, almost all the way out, and just tuck it underneath there like that. You want to kind of stop right there. Pretty soon we'll be able to kind of just tuck all this under and hide it. So now we've got all that excess. Let's pull that all the way through. Okay, so that is pretty much it. There we go. That's our first monkey's fist on one side. You want to get the knots down as tight as possible so you secure that little loose end right in there. But this is more or less good to go. Okay, so now I'm going to take, now we're going to move to the other side. Okay, so now to move to the other side, I want my midsection to be about 3 inches. That can vary on your play style, but for mine and my example here, I did about 3 inches. I'm just going to kind of eyeball this one. You can always adjust this after too, so don't worry about it. So roughly you want about that much. Okay, so now I've got my other marble. Now we're just going to do the exact same thing again. Okay, I'm going to tie my other monkey Swiss. Same exact method. Probably going to cut most of this out, but yeah. All right, got the second monkey Swiss tied. As you can see it there. So now this time I actually want to get the slack out the other way. Okay, so because I already know this is more or less the length I want, I can kind of still adjust it, but I'm going to get the slack out to this side. Okay, so we'll just have a look at where we are. This is where our lead is. Let's start with this one. Okay, so just pull all the slack out to the other side. And yeah, that should be good. So I'm going to do that. Okay, so I got most of the slack out, but it still needs a little more tightening, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. But yeah, get all the slack out to this side. Okay, so whatever you have to do, see it's still a little flexible. So get all the slack out, and then we can finally adjust the end measurement. Okay, so I've got both monkey's fists more or less cinched up. Now, to end it, see how we've got the longer strand on this side? I do have a little bit of wastage, so I'll make sure I adjust my measurement in the earlier. Anyways, we're going to snip and singe this end here because, you know, that's where our Begleri is. But now I'm going to take my knife. You can use your scissors if you want. You're going to try to cut it pretty close to where the monkey's fist is. I still have to melt it, so don't cut it way too close. Anyways, I'm going to cut it right about here. Okay, so that's pretty good. I'm going to take my lighter. I've got my tool here. So I'm going to just torch it a bit. Press my tool into it. Okay, so now that's a little ugly. Obviously, we don't want to do that. We're just going to do the exact same thing now. You're going to pull this in. If it's mushroomed out a little too much, you can just take your fid and kind of carefully work it in there. You can do that until it's hidden. Now, see that little bit of excess? We're going to have to pull that all the way out through to the other side of the monkey's fist. So that will cause the midsection to be a little bit longer. And so just take that into account because that will adjust the final length of your Begleri. So I'm just going to do that now. I'm going to work all my slack through to the other side. And then we'll be done. All right, and there we have it. We are finished. So I got the excess paracord trimmed off. And this is ready to go. Ready for practice. Got a lot of practicing to do. I'm still very much a beginner. But anyways, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Remember to check out Around Square and Matt's YouTube channel, as well as the Around Square website. You can learn a lot more about Begleri and even purchase some if you're looking to get into that. So yeah, remember just a few things I said. You can use a steel marble. I think it's definitely better because glass marbles seem a little too light, and it's better with a bit of weight. And also, as for the length, check out the linked video down below on the length of the string because, again, you can play with a short version, a long version. It all depends, right?